And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to a first of 2 days worth of Unhinged FC. It is Kelcey and Hector with you today. Edward, unfortunately, will not be with us this week. He is dealing with some family issues, so hopefully, everything gets better there. But once they do, he'll be back with us for the semifinals and finals of the Champions League. But wish him well right now. Now, Hector, this has been an absolute crazy leg one of the quarterfinals. We saw our two teams battle it out to a 3-1 victory for Real Madrid. A lot of question marks surrounding the stadium, and then, a little joking around the stadium afterwards, including the creators of said stadium sending a 3D model to Jurgen Klopp after Jurgen Klopp kind of said it looked like a minor league stadium and didn't really look like a big league stadium, and no Champions League games should be there. And Klopp taking it in good gesture afterwards.
Man, I feel like Klopp is taking a page out of the Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, they talk about the normal one versus the chosen one, and well, let's just be honest. I think Klopp was like, you know what? I'm tired of being the normal one. Let's do something fun.
Hey, man, I'll give props to him. At least he didn't throw his team under the bus. He threw the stadium under the bus. So,
exactly.
Baby steps.
Exactly. And then in the other game that was last Tuesday, Man City handled Dortmund 2-1. Mind you, not an easy 2-1 victory for Man City. Definitely had to fight tooth and nail and get a game winner in the 90th minute I believe Phil Foden, if I'm not mistaken, scored the game winner in that match. So that's a very interesting day one last week, and then day two came around, and we're like, oh, can't capitalize on that. Yeah, we were wrong. Bayern PSG, that one went 3-2 PSG. Surprise, surprise. And that was an absolute barn burner, both sides of that. And then in the Porto-Chelsea game, I don't know if everybody remembers what Edward had to say about Porto and Chelsea. Timo Werner scoring 5 goals in total between these two legs. However, Porto would win 2-0. Well, he was right on the 2-0, just the wrong team won 2-0.
But his prediction for the 5 goals is still in lock.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still potential, as Chelsea did beat Porto 2-0. And that actually is 2 away goals, so that's pretty huge there for
I just want to point out that I did predict that.
Yeah,
I did predict a 2-0 win. That's my only correct prediction so far.
I think so as well. Actually, I don't think anybody else has come close. And it's worth mentioning PSG's 3 goals are away goals, 3 goals, and that's very, very big. Dortmund also has 1 goal that's an away goal, so that also pretty much makes that Man City Dortmund game even a little bit bigger coming back to Dortmund. And Liverpool thankfully did get an away goal, so there is a little bit of competition left in that one. If they could hold Real Madrid scoreless and score 2 goals, who knows what can happen? Probably not much, but you know what? I can hope. So
anything's possible, man.
that's the big thing. So obviously today is Tuesday, so we have 2 games on the docket like normal. Today's games, we just mentioned them: PSG Bayern, Chelsea Porto, and we're gonna kick it off with this Chelsea Porto game. As you mentioned, you had this prediction right, 2-0, and how does that make you feel that you actually got a prediction right in the quarterfinals in a pretty competitive game?
I mean, I kind of had a good idea of how this Chelsea team has looked. Nothing against FC Porto. I think Porto has done a great job. And I mean, obviously they beat Juventus in extra time and everything. I mean, they're already exceeding expectations of everybody. I'm sure that they have their expectations, but I mean, for a team for Porto, I think this is huge for them. They're not completely out of it. I mean, yeah, it's 2-0, but that can easily be equaled. So I mean, it's not a long shot. It's not a big deficit for Porto. So I mean, they just have to make sure that they can stay disciplined, especially because it looks like Chelsea has now found the scoring bug, especially after their big game that they had, and Christian Pulisic scored. So I mean, I think we're gonna start seeing Chelsea scoring some goals. I think if Chelsea is able to replicate what they did, I think Chelsea has flipped the switch to make a pretty strong statement in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. And as you mentioned with Porto, so they have a little bit of history against them right now, if trends are to be believed. And that's since beating Leicester City 5-0 in the group stages of the competition in December 2016. Porto are winless in their following 7 matches against English sides in the Champions League, drawing only 2, losing 5. They've only scored twice while conceding 16 total goals over that time against English Premier League teams. So that's not good. Whereas Chelsea are completely unbeaten in this year's Champions League this season. They have played 9, won 7, drawn 2. So they can become the first English team to go unbeaten across their first 10 games in a season in the competition since Liverpool back in 17-18. So a little bit of history on the sides of both teams here as far as we'll see who can do what. But yeah, this is a big. It was a big win for Chelsea doing it away at Porto. I mean, that 2-0 it looks good, but then also you consider their away goals. Well, that just made things so much dirtier. So this is a game that's very interesting to go forward. I mean, it's going to take a lot from Porto to pull this one back for sure.
I'll add one more thing too. I know we joked on Chelsea about losing to West Brom, but I will say maybe there's some sort of shining light or some silver lining towards it. It's because there's no pressure now. Like they lost. Like there's no undefeated streak anymore. Since Tuchel has taken over Chelsea. I think that there's no pressure now. They know hey, we don't have to talk about a stupid streak anymore. We can just focus on our games. I mean, you clearly saw it in their last match. And so I'm thinking that this is a very relaxed Chelsea team. I mean, I kind of have to say, man, the player to watch in this game is going to be Timo Werner. I need to see this kid perform. The pressure is, it's funny how I say that. And, obviously, Edward predicted 5 goals. I don't know if 5 goals is going to happen, but I need to see something from Timo Werner. I feel like this is kind of a lax situation right now. You're coming in a lot of confidence right now from having a big win. You got 2 away goals. The pressure, yes, there's some pressure for Chelsea to make sure they maintain it, but they know if you score 1 goal in this leg, you just made things a lot more intense for FC Porto. So it's on Timo Werner, man. This is the game where he needs to finally score some goals or a goal. He needs to just put some goals in so he can start being relaxed. Because once Timo Werner is relaxed, I agree with Edward. This kid has a lot of potential, but he needs to ease up. And I think he can ease up once he finally scores a goal. I think this is a perfect scenario for Timo Werner to go ahead and start living up to his expectations.
Yeah, you talk Timo Werner being relaxed. I mean, we saw what he could do last season. I mean, he was just absolutely outstanding, scoring goal after goal after goal, it seemed like. And then this big move, and he's got a lot to live up to. And yeah, there's something wrong. We call it butt pucker syndrome in baseball, and I feel like it's the exact same when it comes to this. He's paranoid. He's scared. He doesn't want to mess up, and so he ends up in front of goal and aiming the ball, and that's the worst thing you can do. Instead of just knowing that you're trusting what you've done all your life as far as knowing where the net is. It's 12 feet wide. You're not gonna. It doesn't change anymore. Like you are at 12 feet wide. That's all there is to it. You know the distances. You know everything else. Just relax and stroke it home. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to do that. But you're exactly right. You do need to see a lot from him this game. But for me, I look at Pepe on the other side. Porto, they need some organization. They need some motivation. And what better guy to do that than the fiery Portuguese man himself, Pepe, who has plenty of experience winning titles with Real Madrid. It's not like he doesn't know how to win big games. So he does know how to come in here and actually dictate the tempo from the back, if you will, and lead this team from the back. And that's going to be a big deal, because especially you consider the possession numbers from the first game, 51% and 49, or sorry, no, I'm right. 61% and 39% were the possessions numbers. So 61% for Chelsea, 39% for Porto. Never going to be a good number when you're in the 30s for possession. So Pepe needs to be able to take the ball away from Chelsea and then keep his team in it mentally to try to build towards this 2-0 victory, 2-0 game that they need to overcome. And we'll see if they're able to do it, but I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, but I do need to see Pepe step up for Porto for sure, and he needs to dictate the way this game is going to be played. In my eyes, he's going to be the big deal. So, I guess we come down to it. Hector, what's your predictions?
I think that this is just too good of a situation for Chelsea. I mean, maybe some people could think maybe Chelsea are. This is the thing, but I don't think Chelsea's a team that's going to underestimate their opponent. I think Tuchel is just too good of a manager to let that happen to his team. And so, I mean, they're going to be on their wits. I mean, they know what Porto can do, especially if you let them make a mistake, because you've seen what Sergio Oliveira can do. You've seen what Luis Diaz can do. Musa Marega. These guys are quick. And if you give them an opening, they're going to take it, and you're gonna pay for it. I mean, look at Juventus. We see what happens when you don't take this team seriously. I don't think Chelsea is that team. They have a solid back line. They have N'Golo Kante, which just seems to be like the defensive mastermind of all things. Um, I just think this team is too disciplined in the back for them to think that, oh, we're just gonna take on Porto. I don't think they're gonna make those mistakes, and I think because of that, the attack is gonna be able to relax. And I'm just gonna say they just need one goal to win it, and I think it's gonna be a 1-0 win. And I think Timo Werner is gonna be the guy who scores it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that look for everything you said for Chelsea. I do think it's going to be a little more competitive in the second leg, and I just that's just down to more being down to Porto striving to be better than it is anything else. I actually have this going 2-1 Chelsea. However, Timo Werner does get one, and maybe Mason Mount will say gets the second one. It wouldn't surprise me either way if Timo Werner does end up scoring both, but I do have it 2-1 for Chelsea. Back at home, technically getting home away goals. So that'd be a very interesting one, either way that goes. Because
of course, we know Edward's prediction is 5-0.
Yeah, Edward has to go 5-0 Chelsea for his Timo Werner pick to pay off. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe who knows? Maybe he picks it 7-0 Chelsea and expects Ben Chilwell and Mason Mount to score again. Who knows? Yeah, we love messing with Edward about this. This has been so entertaining. But we'll be right back, guys. We're gonna take a quick break. You can hear from Fanatics and Fubo TV, and when we come back, we will talk PSG and Bayern Munich. We'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? It's Kelcey from the High Low Sports Podcast. You know, if you missed the brand new news, we have partnered with Fanatics.com. So if you're in the market for a brand new t-shirt, brand new hoodie, brand new jersey, no matter the team, no matter the player, no matter the sport, Fanatics.com is your place to stop. Not only does this help support our podcast, but it helps support the entire Unhinged Sports Network. Check the link in our bio or go to unhingedsn.com. I'll be having DJ in the High Low Sports Podcast. See ya. What's up, everybody? It's Kelcey from the High Low Sports Podcast, and we recently partnered with Fubo TV. What is Fubo TV? Fubo TV is a service to broadcast live TV over the internet, no cable required. Watch your favorite teams, network shows, news, and movies on over 100 plus channels. You get channels like CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox. You can watch all the games. So go ahead, click that link in our bio, and get started on your 7-day free trial. And stay tuned to some more great programming right here on the Unhinged Sports Network.
And welcome back, guys, as you just heard from our sponsors over at Fanatics and Fubo TV. Fantastic sponsors for the network, honestly. At this point in time, we have to tell you, if you guys haven't already bought all your gear, your Champions League gear, your jerseys, for your favorite team, head on over to Fanatics.com. All you got to do is search by team, and you can find it. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, MLS starts in, 5 days. So be sure to go over there and get your new jerseys. And if you guys are in the Austin area, maybe go pick up an Austin FC jersey. They're joining the league this year. Their jerseys look pretty clean. Be completely honest about that. Or maybe you're an ATL fan, got some ATL stuff in there. Or you're like Hector, you're a Houston fan. Get you some of that new rebranded Houston Dynamo FC jerseys.
Man, you know what's so hard about these MLS jerseys? LA Galaxy. Man, I hate to admit it. LA Galaxy hit it out of the park with this jersey that they dropped. It is sick. If I could just be a straight up MLS fan, I would definitely try to cop it. But unfortunately, I'm not. And then, dang, Seattle even doing the little purple haze homage to Jimi Hendrix. There's a banger jerseys, man. If you're just a jersey appreciator, maybe you should go ahead and cop some of these MLS jerseys, because I think that some of these MLS teams, they hit it out of the park with their jerseys, especially if you do something to commemorate something. Obviously, the LA Galaxy commemorated their old school kits that they had back in the day. You got Seattle, paying homage to Jimi Hendrix.
There's countless
ones. I wish Houston could do something.
Yeah,
a purple DJ screw, like. Dynamo jersey.
Something. I mean, honestly, I love the idea of the orange crush and that mentality of things, but I'm sorry. I'm looking at a bright orange jersey every year that is just all solid orange and an all solid black jersey as a secondary. I'm just like, guys, come on. You have orange and black in your uniforms. You can do so much more. I mean, just imagine like a Halloween theme on one. That would be fantastic. Anything.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Anything. But so obviously, as we mentioned, go check out Fanatics, guys. It's links in both of our bios. And as Hector mentioned, if you guys are just jersey fans, I mean, no better time to pick up just jerseys than now, as they are having sales year round on their website. So be sure to check that out.
Plus Mexico's banger of a jersey as well.
Absolutely, those L3 jerseys are something else. I enjoy those, and I don't even like Mexican.
This might be the year I finally crack and get a Mexico jersey.
And look, I hate the U.S.'s jerseys this year. Like, I'm like, come on, guys. Like, we could have done so much better. With all these designs that the U.S. could put out, and they're going to put out those type of jerseys. It's awful. And then L3's over here we're going to put out.
I'll be a little bit different. I do like the clean look. I like the white jersey clean look. So
I love the old Centennial ones. Give me the old Centennial with the old school USA patch on it, with just the solid white with the block numbers and the blue collar. Those were clean. Okay, now I'm just like, ever since the bomb pops, I'm just like, all right, hold on now. Those were the ones that killed me.
Yeah, I'm not. It's a mixed feelings on that one.
I wish they would have adopted the women's uniform, the black and the white with the neon green.
Oh man, that was the neon.
That was clean.
I wish I would have copped one of those, man.
Oh, those were perfect. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge U.S. women's national team fan, and I think they are obviously the better of the two national team programs, without a doubt at this point in time.
Speaking of women's soccer, NWSL is also already kicked off as well.
Yeah,
their jerseys are some bangers as well.
Yeah, this is a year for jerseys when it comes to soccer in America. I feel like, for sure. So definitely go check those out, guys. And now, speaking of jerseys, we're going to talk about one of the most fashion-forward programs in PSG versus Bayern Munich. We talk about some of the coolest jerseys, some of the cleanest jerseys that have ever come out. We talk about PSG. We talk about Bayern Munich. They're just classics. I mean, the center solid stripe from PSG, and then you obviously talk about these simple reds, the simple bar reds, and because they have the two different tones of reds, but they're literally almost identical that alternate on top of them with Bayern Munich. Two fantastic teams long term, and just have continue to do so. They lit it up in leg one. There's no other way to put it. 3-2 in this game. Kylian Mbappe scoring 2 goals in the 3rd minute and the 68th minute, sandwiched in between Marquinhos' goal, who we talked about needs to step up defensively and be solid in the back. Well, he said, okay, I'll do that. But then you know what else I'll do? I'll go score a goal. So that's what will happen. And then on the flip side of things, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting scored 1 goal, and Thomas Muller scoring the 2nd goal on a pretty amazing, basically essentially a bicycle kick. It wasn't a full bike, but it was a bike. Let's be honest about it. It was an overhead kick is the best way to put it.
It was a unicycle.
Yeah, there you go. It was the German unicycle kick, if we'll call it that, with Thomas Muller. So giving themselves a chance. However, those 3 PSG goals are away goals. So this is an interesting game because those 3 away goals are going to play out huge. And Bayern has their work cut out for them, as we mentioned, without Robert Lewandowski for another few months. So, Hector, what do you think has to happen here for Bayern to be able to come back?
They need someone up top to score some goals, man. I mean, you thought that you had it with I'm not gonna try to pronounce the name, but
Maxim Choupo-Moting?
Yeah, Choupo-Moting. The man that actually last year was with PSG, and now he's here with Bayern Munich. And, I mean, he came off with a big goal against RB Leipzig, but then now they had this 0-0 draw with, I can't believe I'm saying this, Union Berlin, but that happened. So what's crazy is that if they would have won that game, I believe that Bayern Munich would have clinched their 9th straight Bundesliga title. I mean, they're probably still going to win the Bundesliga title. We're not saying that they're not, but it's just crazy to think that a draw really affected them that much. And now there's all question marks about Bayern Munich. There's one thing I know about Bayern Munich: you can never count this team out. Yes, they're in quite a predicament because in the event of them tying. But I mean, they just need to win this game. That's all they need to do. As long as they can not let PSG score goals, and they can at least score two goals you win with 2 goals. Obviously, mind you, you don't let PSG score, but you win with 2 goals. A 2-0 win gets Bayern Munich onto the semifinal. But and it's crazy to say this, especially after a game where they gave up 2 goals. Keylor Navas has looked really solid, and that's kind of a reason why this backline has been so good, is because you have a goalkeeper like Keylor Navas. Because in that first leg, honestly, Bayern Munich could have easily have won this game because they had plenty of opportunities to have scored on PSG. But Keylor Navas, he's showing why he was a big part of Real Madrid's Champions League runs in the previous years. He was part of that three-peat. And last year he was a crucial part of PSG's run to the Champions League final as well. So, man, we need to start putting some respect on Keylor Navas. I feel like that's one of the most underappreciated players in UEFA just because he's from Costa Rica.
I was about to say, yeah, he just got actually rated as the number 1 player from that region as well. So that is something worth mentioning. Finally, somebody recognizes how good Keylor Navas has been.
CONCACAF recognizes him. But UEFA, I mean, there's already the hair rumors for PSG, so that just shows you how little respect they give to Keylor Navas. But I mean, it's gonna be big on this PSG team. This is Bayern Munich. I've said this many times over and over again. You can't let this team get an ounce of a shot because you can never count this team out. They're gonna come back, and they're gonna come back with gusto. I mean, you got Thomas Mueller, an amazing player. Leroy Sané, you have Narby. And it's crazy because I am not even mentioning Kingsley Coleman, but that's still often a possible player. Yep. This team is stacked up front and is stacked in the midfield. Defense might have some question marks, but it's still very solid nonetheless. And then, of course, you got Manuel Neuer. So this is a team that you can't give them a lead because they're going to take full advantage. This isn't even without, like I said, without Robert Lewandowski, they're completely dangerous and invincible. Without Lewandowski, they're still a pretty solid team that could probably still win the Champions League.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, I know you were talking Keylor Navas a lot, but you talked about Manuel Neuer just a little bit there at the end. I have to give him credit. PSG had a total of 31 shots. Oh, sorry, no, my bad. I'm reading this wrong. Keylor Navas had a total of 31 shots faced in the first leg against Bayern, which is the most in a single game in UEFA Champions League history. So the German side Bayern Munich was expected to have, their expected goals number was a value of about 3.79. So essentially 4 goals is what they were expected to score based off of their total number of shots. That's the most of any team in the competition this season. Most amount of shots faced since 2003, 2004. And Keylor Navas stonewalled them all, kept them to a two goals period. I mean, like, that just tells you how good Keylor Navas has been. I read that wrong initially, and that just reapproves your point of how good Keylor Navas has been. It's just absolutely fantastic. And another stat going for PSG right now, they're the first team to beat Bayern Munich under Hansi Flick in 17 games in the Champions League. And the German side haven't failed to win both legs of a knockout tie in the competition since 18-19 when they did so against Liverpool, when they drew and then lost against Liverpool. So this also is a two-sided thing where PSG, first team to beat Hansi Flick, how does he react as a manager going into this PSG match at PSG, mind you? This is at Parc des Princes. So this is going to be a very interesting leg 2 coming forward. But yeah, this looks really good for PSG. Everybody looks good on PSG team. And everybody who was injured coming back likely in this game, so they should be healthy and ready to go. So for all intents and purposes, it is full go for PSG, whereas, as we mentioned, Lewandowski being the big injury does hamper a lot of your attacking for Bayern Munich, and that'll be the big one. And for me, I have this one going very much like you have Chelsea going. 1-0. I think this is, through all the attacking purposes, all that, it's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be 1-0. PSG will win this game 1-0 at home and advance to the semifinals, which I think it'd be a fantastic draw for them. But Hector, how do you have this one going?
I'm gonna say history repeats itself, and like you mentioned, the Liverpool outing with Bayern Munich, I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. I think Munich scores the first goal. They feel that they're kind of moving the ball a little bit, and the player I'm gonna highlight is Neymar. I think Neymar is gonna come up big for them. I mean, he's suspended for a game, so I mean, he might as well go ahead and play it all out in the Champions League, and puts them in the semifinal. And there goes the heavy favorite to win the Champions League.
Yeah, that's something crazy that we didn't talk about. This is Bayern Munich has been, for all intents and purposes, everybody's favorite team when it comes down to winning the Champions League this season. They've just been that head and heels above everybody else. But as we mentioned, once Lewandowski goes down, they're still a good team, but they no longer become that heavy favorite. They then become just another one of the bunch, it feels like. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously, this one's going to be a very exciting game. And this one, well, the reason why we highlight it second normally is because it's going to be the more exciting of the two. We've been wrong before. I'm looking at you, Porto and Juve, and we'll see if Porto decides to prove us wrong yet again. Hopefully they don't, because I'd feel terrible. We've underestimated Porto to this point in time twice now, if that's the case. So we'll see how that goes.
You got Oliveira going ahead, and he's like, "You think Timo Werner's going to score 5 goals? Watch this."
Yeah. Oh man, that would kill me. But that does it for us today, guys. Obviously, we have 2 fantastic games today, and then tomorrow we will have even more as we talk Real Madrid, Liverpool, and Man City Dortmund, which, as you guys know, Real Madrid, Liverpool has a little bit of skin on the line for both of us here, as the loser of that game is guaranteed to join our singing bet. Right now, it's just a solo with Edward. We're guaranteed a duet at the very least with one of us joining him, and right now it looks like I will be joining him if Liverpool cannot pull it out. But we'll talk about that tomorrow, guys. For Hector and Insert Name FC, go check him out on Twitter at Insert Name FC, and also on Instagram by the same name. And then over here, check me out at high_low_sports on Twitter or on YouTube. Just search High Low Sports. And we will be with you guys again tomorrow. Until next time, see ya.